Every day they pass by, but we do not always notice them. They are part of the crowd, and we pay no attention even when facing them. It is a street cleaner, a construction worker at a nearby site, a babysitter or a shop assistant in the neighborhood store. Thousands of them come to Russia in search of a better life, feeling to find a job in their country. Here they can both support themselves and send money back home. Russia becomes a new home for many thousands of migrants, remaining a foreign homeland for some of them.
Здравствуйте, ключ мне. 39, 39. Спасибо.
Kudjadjumbayev was born and grew up in Tajikistan. At the age of 12, he moved to Krasnoyarsk, where he immediately found a job. Now he dreams of getting married and becoming a citizen.
My mum is Uzbek and my dad is Uzbek too. All of us are Uzbek. We live in Tajikistan. My grandfather was from Uzbekistan and so was my grandmother. I don't know when they crossed the border. Now we live in Tajikistan. I was born in Tajikistan. I've stayed in Russia, in Krasnoyarsk, since 2005. I was 12 years old when I came here. My brother was already here and he sort of invited me. That's how I came to stay. I arrived on November the 10th in 2005. It was plus 17 in Tajikistan and minus 10 here. I could feel the change, but slowly got accustomed to the weather. Now I walk around like a Siberian. It's all good. Here's how I arrived here. First of all, I wanted to enter the cadet corps. I failed and then worked as a bus conductor on bus route number 50. And then one more year on bus route number 87. Now I work at a construction site as a bricklayer, house painter and bricklayer. General purpose. Working so far. There's not a lot of work there. Well, you can find it, but it pays little. Here they pay well, and I like it in general. That's why I came. It's good both for earning well and living well.
3 countries: Uzbekistan, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. These countries are main suppliers of the migrant labor force to the Russian Federation.
People got used to coming to Russia. They've been coming for a long time now. They get a bit less there. They're used to it. It has been a while since they want to come here. We couldn't afford a car. We couldn't afford to build anything. Now they say it's possible. But I got used to living here by now. I send back 10,000 rubles every month. A family can live well with 10,000 rubles. There, it can easily live a good life with 10,000. They can buy clothes, books and food for my little brother with 10,000. The only problem is that I have no passport. This is difficult. I'm getting married. I'm going to, soon, and that's it. She is a common Russian girl. We see each other twice a week, on Saturday and Sunday. She is still studying. She doesn't get in my way, and I don't get in hers. We can live together once we get married. Once I get married, maybe, my brother will come. I'll send him an invitation. Meanwhile, I'm going to build a house. I'll be getting citizenship soon, and then I'll invite them here. I've received the translation, received the patent, migration card, registration, and now the passport. Should I go to the registry office? Can I just come here? First to the registry. Once they give the papers, I can submit them. All right, thanks a lot. Goodbye. I can stay in Russia for 1 year. In a year, I have to go abroad. In 3 months, I can come back and start it again.
Islam Satvaldiyev also met his love in Krasnoyarsk. However, it was not a Russian, but an Uzbek woman. The citizen of the town of Osh moved from Kyrgyzstan to Russia in 2009.
I moved to Krasnoyarsk in 2009. My uncle lived here. He invited me. So we moved as a family.
Как-то, знаете, там жизнь не очень.
You know, life was not okay in Kyrgyzstan.
Ну, там работа
Nowhere to
была,
work. It was hard to survive, and we decided to move here.
И вот решили как-то переехать сюда. Война была.
There was a war between the Kyrgyz and the Uzbek people.
Вот тогда вот.
That's when we moved here.
В то время мы переехали сюда. Ну, здесь знакомые.
We had someone here, an uncle, so it was a little easier.
Как-то, если сразу
If you move to a
переехать в
completely
другой
new
город,
town
незнакомый
with
город,
nobody you know there, it's hard, right?
всё равно будет, да, найти, например, работу.
Hard to find a job, an apartment, for example. That's why I moved here with my parents.
Average monthly wage: Uzbekistan $150, Kyrgyzstan $170, Tajikistan $100, Russia migrants 20,000 or 44,000 rubles.
Знаете, если вот знакомого нету, да, трудно.
You know, if you have no acquaintances, it's hard anyway.
Все равно
You move to a different city, you know nobody there, it's anyway hard.
тянет туда,
I miss home,
тянет.
want to go there.
Ну, я могу
Well,
просто
I can just come to visit.
в гости.
I don't think I can live there. Here the life now is more comfortable than there.
Здесь обстоятельства более уже комфортно, да, чем там.
In 2014 or 2015, I went back to Osh to visit. It was somewhat, well, I stayed just for 10 days there and that was it. I got bored. It was very boring there for me.
Мне скучно было, очень скучно было там.
Salaries there are very low. That's why it's hard to work there. It's hard to find money.
Here in Krasnoyarsk, the family of Islam managed to find jobs and even obtain property. As he told us, unlike Kyrgyzstan, you can both have a job and do some extra work on the side in Russia. Now he works as a taxi driver and makes something on the side. As a result, his monthly income is about 40,000 rubles. Aiza Bolot. At the age of 22, she left for Moscow to earn some money. For the last 5 years, the native of Kyrgyzstan has been working as a cook at a Japanese and Italian restaurants. She went to Kyrgyzstan on vacation to visit her mother, but could not come back because of the forged documents.
My aunt invited me. I left with her. I stayed there for 5 years. Worked there, first in a Japanese restaurant. I like it and learned a lot there. Learned to cook. I didn't know how to cook before that. Then I transferred to an Italian restaurant. I also wanted to try it. I like it there too. In the beginning, the salary was somewhat small. Then, little by little, I started to work. And they raised my paycheck. I liked it a lot there. Our chef was great. I met good people there. My colleagues were just golden. I started to miss my sister a lot and my mother. Then I came to visit. They let me go on vacation for a month only. When the month was up, I decided to go and bought a ticket. But they stopped me at the airport and said that I was in the blacklist because I had forged documents, which I don't know. Because they made my documents every time themselves. And when I made them again, maybe I still didn't know. I gave them the same money, but they said it was forged. Now I'm here. What can I do? I looked for a job here, found it, but these salaries are too small. I want to go to Moscow. If I have a chance, I'll go.
Central Bank of Russia, cross-border transfer, Russia-Kyrgyzstan, 2015, $1,083 billion, 2014, $2,026 billion.
Но не знаю, если возможность будет, я уеду, и я там буду работать.
My colleagues still call me and tell I should come. To work together again. It makes me happy. I want to go. When I worked there, I had 2 work days and 2 days off. They paid me 38,000. If you don't want to take days off, you can work. In the end of the month, I had 80,000.
Здесь я не знаю уже, когда начали.
When I worked here, I got 5,000. Then they paid 6,000. And you only have 1 day off a week. You go wherever there's more money. If we want to live well, we need more money. I just want to help my mother. Well, it's also a good city there. But if I had a good salary here, I wouldn't leave. but the salary is good in Moscow, so I want to leave and work.
Я хочу уехать и работать. Кто-то нас ненавидит.
Some people hate us, some people love us. Some say that we're very hard-working. Some say that we're strangers. If you don't pay attention to it all, I don't know. I like it a lot.
Gulchakra, 55 years old, also told us that the life in Moscow was like heaven. She comes from the ancient city of Samarkand, the second largest city in terms of size and population after Tashkent. She sold fruit at a market in the Russian capital. Now she sells Oriental sweets back at home. The woman came back to Samarkand 3 months ago after notorious murder of a child by an Uzbek babysitter in Moscow. By coincidence, that babysitter also comes from Samarkand and has exactly the same name, Gulchakra.
There are no Uzbek people left in this area. I wanted to see them, but I couldn't find them. They were not there. Maybe it's for the better, because they found a job. When I lived in Moscow, it was like heaven. The conditions were good. They didn't cut off gas and electricity. It's heaven there. I lived in heaven. It's also good here, and it's good there. Whatever you get used to. My homeland is here. We worked there for 8 months, and for 6, 5, 4 months here. I can't say that I was there all the time. But anyway, both there and here. When there are 3 of us, it's not too expensive. If 3 of us work, we can save money. 1 person works for food, the other for the apartment rent, the third saves money to build a house, for the wedding. My son had to get married, my daughter as well. That's why we came back. They're on their own now. Everyone has their problems. My children are on their own now, and I'm on my own too. I have enough here. Whatever I earn here is enough for me. We've been working with the Oriental Sweets since 1993. My husband was a military officer. At some point he wanted us to live in Russia. He studied in Russia. No, at that time in Ukraine. He spoke good Russian. I don't speak Russian very well. My children speak well. Anyway, I don't know. It's easier for me here because I'm alone. If I were with my husband, then maybe...
Shakudat Kandamova, from the town of Kudjant in Tajikistan, came to Russia not just with her husband, but with the whole extended family. For many years, her parents used to come to Krasnoyarsk for seasonal dry fruit trade. Later, she took over the family business, and now all her relatives sell fruit in the central market.
Компотик, изюмчик добавите вам? Всего доброго, как всегда жду. Всего доброго, до свидания. Мы гражданство получили, мы все граждане России.
That's what our parents left us with, from the time of the Soviet Union.
Наш папа ездил.
Our father travelled to sell, then our mother. Our whole family travels. In Krasnoyarsk, most of us, Tajik people, deal with dried fruit.
Central Bank of Russia, cross-border transfer Russia-Tajikistan, 2013, $4,155 billion, 2014, $3,831 billion, 2015, $1,278 billion.
The majority from Urachub, because the town we live in there is agricultural, not cotton, the dried fruit, dried apricot, raisins, prunes. It's been like that since old times. We understand more in it. Give me clothes to sell, I don't get it, or kitchen utensils too. We somehow deal with dried fruit. We know all about it. Our dried apricot, raisins, nuts, what is useful, why and how much, to eat or not to eat, what is bad for you and how it is processed. The majority of Krasnoyarsk kids grew up with this kompot, this dried fruit drink.
In the course of 2 decades, almost all Chakudat's family members moved from Tajikistan to Krasnoyarsk. According to Shakudat Kandamova, although the relatives see each other at work every day, they still try to come her place regularly to chat over a cup of tea of traditional Tajik rice pilaf.
When we meet for an occasion, we do everything together. My aunt, sister, daughters-in-law, some younger women. When we have younger women around, the older women don't interfere. They just sit back and relax. That's our custom. We do everything in a crowd. It's more fun this way. We chat and laugh in the meantime. Finally, we live in Russia at the moment. We don't see each other that often. Everyone has their job, their things to do.
In most cases, our heroes have made their families here in Krasnoyarsk, but following Tajik traditions.
When we met each other, he told me he needed a wife, and I said I needed a husband. He said he needed a child, and I said I needed a child too. Thus, we got married within a month. Our friends introduced us. They called, and Mum's friends said that there was a single young man. Very often a man could be married there, and then he would come and get married here again. I needed a single man, so that he had nobody but me. We all met him, talked to him, liked each other. The whole process with the wedding took us 1 month. This is my elder sister. This is my daughter-in-law. These are the daughter and granddaughter of my elder sister. This is my brother and daughter-in-law. And this is my 8th brother's son. These are my nephews, my 11th daughter's children. At the moment, we have 10 siblings left. Each of us have 3 or 4 children, at least. He has 7, she has 3, and she has 3 as well. However, our heroine from Tajikistan is sure that her family was lucky. They moved to Russia in the right time, when there were less hurdles and problems for foreign citizens. Now, in her opinion, the proverb, East or West, home is best, is as relevant as ever. If you have opportunities in your town, there's no need to go to Russia. Stay in your home country, because the kopeck that you find there, you will find at home as well. Times have changed. Those times when people used to make good money there, smarter people have taken over. Your goal is the only specific thing you have. Even if it's hard, I will work. If there's a day with nothing to eat, I won't die. That's it.
شب بخیر دوستان شب بخیر شب بخیر همنشینان شب بخیر شب بخیر دوستان شب بخیر باز یک روز غم و شادی گذشت در میان دلبری نامسلمان باز یک روز جای میگذشت شب بخیر دوستان شب بخیر شب بخیر همنشینان شب بخیر شب بخیر دوستان شب بخیر شب بخیر همنشینان شب بخیر شب بخیر دوستان شب بخیر